3, 2, 1, go!
We are Paul Leonard
and Bryce Graskowski,
and this is 20 Minutes of Fitness.
Yo, Bryce, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Paul. How you doing? What is this?
Oh, you found a rat.
Oh, we got rats in the
There's
house.
a big rat in the house.
Oh.
How you doing, Miko?
Hey, you gonna guest star?
So, yeah, we are back. I had a little hiatus.
Okay. What'd you do, buddy?
We didn't do this last week. I don't know if we did it the week
Nope,
before.
we did the week before.
Okay, so the week before we did do, and then last week. So we only skipped 1 week. That's not bad.
1 week. So
last week I was a little busy contemplating my life, deciding whether I should actually do a full Ironman. And
it's too bad you were registered for one. Yeah,
I was enrolled for the World Championship. Felt like I had to do it.
Or was this while you were doing it? You were contemplating whether you should do it.
Oddly enough, during it, I was actually not bad.
That's good.
The swim part was actually really good.
You crushed it. Hour 23, something like that?
Hour 23, yeah. So I was hoping to be under an hour and a half, or I was hoping to be an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Ended up finishing faster than I hoped, and I was stoked about that. And then the bike took about as long as I thought it should, and it wasn't bad, honestly. Yeah. Like as I was finishing the bike, I was like, oh, that actually didn't hurt that much. Like maybe I should have pushed harder, because like it wasn't that bad. But then I still had to run after, and then when I got to the run, I was like, oh fuck, it's a good thing I didn't push any harder.
So what's your average run time, buddy?
Yeah, well, I finished in
11 minutes and change.
Yeah, I finished in just over 5 hours.
Yeah.
And basically what that was running, I would call it running 10-minute miles and then walking
a few miles
every time.
Yeah, I saw that. I was going to ask you what, like you have a 16-minute mile, almost a 15-minute mile. I was thinking maybe you stopped at a water station.
No, just walking.
Walking, okay.
So like there's certain times like the 16-minute mile, it was all uphill.
Yeah. And
it was just like, I ran that whole mile. Okay. I just ran really slow that whole mile.
Yeah.
At that point in the race, you're like, we're done, man. Like once you're 16 and a half miles in, you're like, I'm over this.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get to 20 and you're like, okay, I'm almost there.
I figured it was uphill too, because I was looking at, because there's a turnaround, right? Yeah. And I was like, okay, I think this is where he was, because the maps on there is pretty good, the tracker. And I was like, oh, I think this is where he was. And it looks like this mile was decently fast. So it must have been downhill on the way there. Now he's walking uphill.
Yeah.
That's
so good. That walk uphill was rough.
It's cool to watch. I always like watching a tracker. So.
But down at the bottom of it, there's a rest station down there. And that's where your halfway bags. I put fresh socks on. Yep. I had some chicken broth at that point because the sun was down. And it was like, I was actually feeling that my slowest mile was one of the best feeling miles of the whole run. But then afterwards, looking at it, I was like, that sucked.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then my last mile, it was all downhill.
Yeah.
So you get to the top, and there's like that's where there's like people on both sides of the road. There's like banners everywhere, like the Hoka shoes and all that stuff. And you're like, all right. And then the guy Casey that I was training, I wouldn't say with, but was also training for the Ironman as a lottery spot with my same coach.
Yep.
He was only like he was 2.5 miles ahead of me at the beginning of the run. And I passed him at a checkpoint, so I knew he was only about a mile ahead of me.
Okay.
So on the way down that fast hill, I passed him, and I was like, there's no way this fucker's catching back up to me. So I gave it everything I had. And the reality is, it's not like I was racing the guy, but it just gave me something to be like, everything you got left, you don't need any more energy after you get past this point.
Do you, did you watch you coming across the finish line on the live, I don't know. I wonder if you could go back to the live.
I don't know.
I don't know because it wasn't on YouTube. I think it was hosted on their website. So I don't know what kind of platform they're using. But I'll see if I can and put it up on this podcast right here.
They had
if it exists,
a video package. Like I bought the photo package.
Oh, okay.
But I could have bought the video package too. But it was an extra like $50, and I'm never gonna watch myself doing an Ironman.
I only figured out that they had the finish line on there. Like I was like, oh, Paul's going to cross the finish line. I'm going to see if, oh, shit, they got the finish line. And my phone died because I was going to screen record, and my phone died. I'm like, shit. Then I grabbed the iPad, and at least we watched you come across the finish line.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was pretty cool.
I was stoked, man.
You looked it.
I was just done. So freaking ready to be over it.
That's cool. Congrats.
Yeah, no, that was good. And all in all, I'd say the Ironman was great, and I'm glad it's done. And then I took a rest day on Sunday, although I did go golfing with the family. Yep. So I was feeling pretty good.
So I'd say before you did an Ironman, now you are an Ironman.
I mean, it was my second Ironman.
That's what I'm saying.
It was my fourth Ironman,
well,
actually.
I don't know about that. So you're an Ironman now.
I am still an Ironman.
You're officially an Ironman.
2017 when I did my first Ironman.
Then
I think I was declared
Then you're
Ironman.
like, I did an Ironman. Now you are an Ironman.
Well, either way,
next level.
It was good. It's done. And now on to the next. So this week I've gotten back to doing CrossFit. I did CrossFit on, I swam on Monday to loosen my muscles.
You know what I say to that?
CrossFit Tuesday, Wednesday, and now today.
You know what I say to that? Cross fuck off.
Cross fuck off. So I guess I guess today we did high intensity interval training. We did HIIT training.
Yeah, this is not an affiliate. Although a level 3 CrossFit coach made that workout up.
That's right. And a level 2 CrossFit coach did it with him.
That's right. So we got new CrossFit Games announcement this week.
CrossFit Games announcements.
I would say it's an improvement in the game season.
Yeah. In general, just like quick summary from my understanding of it, they're changing around all the regions.
Yes. So now
which is potentially making it all more fair and reasonable, which is great.
They've brought back the super regional, or in the case of the United States and Europe, the super regionals, because there's less of them.
Okay.
Yep.
So that was a really good thing.
Definitely.
And then they changed around the way that the structure is for they say they have regionals. So like it's not quarterfinals, semifinals, blah, blah, the stuff there was before.
Yeah, there's quarterfinal, semifinal.
Oh, and then super regional?
The super regional is the semifinal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So changing names around then.
So like United States went from 4 semifinals to 2.
Okay.
Which is crazy, but whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be intense.
Yeah.
And then they're also changing the way that you can get into the games through the open.
Yeah,
what are they doing? They're getting rid of the judges thing where anybody can be a judge.
Yep.
And now you either have to submit your video again or you have to go to an affiliate.
So they've gone back to what actually works. Yeah.
Yeah.
And gave the power back to the affiliates to make it worthwhile to actually go to affiliates, unlike the last 2 years.
And then they've put some significant effort as far as marketing goes, it looks like, to say, go to affiliates, train at affiliates. Affiliates are the best. If you're not doing it at affiliate, you're slacking off. They're pushing hard about it.
For the first time in 12 years, I've been doing this 12, 13 years. There's advertisements for CrossFit, for the affiliates, not for the games garbage, for the actual affiliates. Like on YouTube, they all started last week, mid last week, and it was just every time I went on a video, they were coming up. There's I've seen 3 different ones at this point.
So you think they listen to our podcast? They went through some of the back issues when we were complaining about that?
Well, I think everyone's complaining about it. But yeah, and then on Instagram, I saw the advertisements too. So finally, your affiliate dollars are going somewhere. So all these are a huge improvement for the affiliate. I don't necessarily think they're improvements for like the general athlete trying to do the open, but definitely for the affiliates. Those are all great.
So that's nice. And then I just pulled open the site here on the iPad and
game site.
Getting solicited by work. Sorry, trying to ignore them. So first thing is on the game site. So season details released.
Yep.
I should have opened all this up more so before. Okay, well, for those of you who are watching, it just says their details are released, and there's actually nothing else on that page.
Yeah. So super regionals. So for like the United States,
there we go, I found it now.
We're going to have 60 individuals. So 60 men, 60 women, 40 teams, right?
Okay.
That's the most significant change, I would say, is the super regional platform. So they're basically combining 2 into 1, but you're keeping the same number of athletes.
Yeah.
And all the same numbers are going forward to the CrossFit Games. So instead of like last year, I think they had 5 going from each of our regionals or our semifinals. Now you're going to have 10 going from each one. So you still have 20.
Same number, but then
the only thing they've done away with is the last chance qualifier.
Okay. Oh, so that's right. I read that.
Now I'm assuming they're going to keep all the numbers the same, and there's still going to be 2 slots left over to go to the games, and those are going to be given to 2 people based on their semifinal experience in regards to the field that they were at. So it doesn't mean if you're on week 1, and this is why they have to do it that way in regard to the field. If you're on week 1, and let's say you crush, but you get 11th place, right? But you lost to Maderos, Hopper, like there's 8 ballers, a couple mini ballers, and then you had a real strong field, and you're 11th place, or let's say you're even 12th place.
Yeah,
those might be the 2 strongest people in the rest
they might have beat everybody else.
Right. And so instead of having the last chance qualifier and finding that out anyway, you're just going to take them, because the significant part of this is that all the semifinals are going to be the same workouts this year.
So they're specifically saying the notable change on the map for individual and team athletes is the division of North America into 2 competition regions. This eliminates the need for seeding process during semifinals as you register for 2023. So they don't have to do any of that. And then they're going to standardize and program all tests for the entire season, including the 2023 semifinal tests.
So somebody would be like, hey, if they're all standardized, why don't you just take the best times? Well, because if you do it week 1, and even if you're way fitter than me, I can beat you in week 2 or week 3, week 4.
Because I know what I have to hit.
Yeah,
because it definitely helps.
It's hard to set the world's best record, but it's a lot easier to beat the world's best record if you have time and whatnot. Because also these people are, let's say, I don't know how many weeks there are. I'm sure it says there's probably 4 weeks now. If you're on week 4 and they announce it like 2 weeks before week 1, you've had 6 weeks. You've tried it. You know your time. You've maybe done it twice.
Week 1, you haven't got to do it yet.
Yeah, you maybe did it once if you're lucky, if they give you enough time. So I like that it's in regards to your performance at the field you were at. And also if you're in a field with like not the best people, you don't, and you're 10th place or 11th place, you don't, even 10th place, you probably don't deserve to go. But
11th place certainly doesn't.
Right.
And then team eligibility, it says all team athletes will be required to individually perform the open test from their affiliate.
At the open. Huge.
So after the open, teams will then select 6 athletes, 4 competing members, and 2 alternates who will compete in quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals together. That 6-person team is locked for the season.
Yeah, so that's big. So that means you can't have these people that aren't really training at that gym. Like they just come in to do the few team workouts and train here and there to meet the requirements.
They have to now, open and everything.
They got to show up to the open. So, I mean, whatever, it's 3 workouts. So, I like that.
Then we already talked about the open. It has to be validated by an affiliate manager or submit a video.
So now you don't have, like, my plan was going to be, I wasn't actually going to do the open, but I was going to register and I was going to have my dog be my judge. I'd pay for the $20 for my dog to be a judge and then put in a fake score that my dog validates.
And now you can't do that.
Now you can't do that. So now I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Shit.
So
I have to train.
And then quarterfinals, 10% of individuals still, 25% of teams.
Yeah, nothing changed there.
So that's all the same, this year.
Same thing with
age group qualifiers, same thing more or less.
Semifinals on age group.
24-hour score submission windows instead of 3.
Yeah, that's good. It's annoying when you have to every day be like, did I put it in? Did I put it in? Now you only have 2.
Compete in any quarterfinal they have qualified for and may compete in multiple quarterfinal competitions.
Yep.
So you could do multiple quarterfinals.
Yep.
Important dates. Individual quarterfinal is March 16 to 19 online. Team quarterfinal is March 29 to 31 online. Age group qualifier quarterfinal is March 31st to April 2nd online. Semifinals, top 30 in each age group will go to online semifinals.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah.
It's all the same. The only big issue I see that they kind of screwed up is, and I heard Brian Friend talking about this, and this kind of screws affiliates that have teams that make that, what's the team percentage? Is that 10%?
25.
Yeah, 25%. It's a lot of teams that enter. So that 25%, the quarterfinals for the teams and masters are on the same week. The problem is the teams one is during the week. Okay. The masters is on the weekend. So getting your 4 or 6 people, probably just get the 4 that are actually the official team that day, getting all 4 people there at the same time
during the week
to do a couple workouts a day, 3 days in a row, when the space isn't being used for the affiliate.
Yeah.
It's really hard to run a 4-person workout in an affiliate with their, all their floor layouts and shit.
Yeah.
And not disrupt everything. Like you literally have to close the gym for those 3 days.
And if it's during the weekdays, the reason why they're probably doing weekdays is because think about your gym, you were closed during the day anyway.
Yeah, it's stupid.
But those people would have to do it at like 11 o'clock when there's no classes going
on, right? The big boys that make the games, they don't have downtime in their gyms. You know what I mean?
I guess so.
But I don't know. I think it's stupid. You could have had the Masters, just for the amount of floor space it takes to do a team.
Yeah.
You could have the Masters during the week because think about the Masters. Yeah. Well, I guess if the kids are in school, but for the older Masters, they don't have jobs.
Yeah, that's true.
You could, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's the only.
Those guys like you just don't work, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the only flaw that I see on that aspect. Everything else I like. I like those changes.
Individual and team semifinals, 3 weeks in person.
Yep. The games set to
CrossFit
Tuesday
Games
through
a
Sunday.
6-day format instead of, so it's August 1st through August 6th.
Yep.
Total game spots will be the same. Yeah, so that's interesting. Mid-November, they're going to come out with a new rule book.
I like
about world rankings.
I think the biggest thing that they did, the biggest change that they did here, is they came out with it early.
Yeah,
instead of 1 week before the Open, which is their normal bullshit. The only thing I'd like to see, because everybody complains about like the standards and all that shit in the Open. And as an affiliate owner, it was the biggest pain in the ass that I spent all this time printing out rules, printing out this shit, watching videos, coming up with whatever technique to get your best score. And then half the people that come to class to do it are like, so what's the workout? And you're like, what? And then they're like, oh, so what's the standard on this shuttle run? And it's like, I think a way to really help the Open and CrossFit Games in general, do away with the $20 entrance fee and the $10 judges course. Basically, the $10 for a judges course. Do a $20 or hell, do a $25 entrance fee. So you go up $5 there, but you have to take the judges course and make the judges course better, where every single movement that's going to be in the Open. So you'd have to actually know what the workouts are before the week of, which is their normal. Have every single movement that's going to be in the Open exhaustively gone through so that everyone that enters the game, the Open, knows it. And then the affiliates don't have to, like, every heat. So how many heads got to touch the ground on a dumbbell snatch? And it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I went through all this, but you weren't here. You didn't come in time. So I think that would help. It would help movement quality, hitting the standards, and the stress of affiliate owners running like Friday Night Lights and stuff.
But how many people?
And judging.
But how many people would not sign up for the Open if they had to do the judges course? That would sign up if they do.
It happened once. They'd sign up the next. You got to suck it up. Like it's for the what do you call it?
I think if I was
integrity of the sport.
I think if I was on the fence about whether I was going to sign up to start with, though, then it was like, oh, you have to do this course. I'd be like, yeah, never mind.
Good. To me, I think
you don't care, but they want that extra $25.
Here's what I think of the CrossFit Games right now. Your integrity is here.
Yeah.
And if it gets a little bit lower, you're basically what's that, High Rocks, where Hunter McIntyre is the champ. Like if you watch their wall balls, it's like, oh, you guys, like he claimed, somebody I just saw claims he's the fittest in the world, and I'm not saying he's not, but you can't claim it by what you see at High Rocks, because their wall ball height, their hips are about this high, too high, and it's like,
it's not standard.
Did you actually do 100 wall balls? No, you did 3. So to me, CrossFit's right here right now, and that's its biggest problem, is it's losing any integrity that it has. So this would crank that, and it's people like Andrew Hiller, Sevon Podcast, who are actually bringing tons of light to the CrossFit Games that actually I think were instrumental in a lot of these changes. But the biggest thing that they bitch about is technique, and
people are just getting
like right now the Wadapalooza, the online qualifier, they put Fran in it. And already it's like, oh no, this is not a thruster. When your hip crease, that thing where your knees go forward and your hips that, everybody in the gym gives you, and everybody
that's not it.
And everybody that actually breaks parallel doesn't like you because of, is happening. And these people are putting up bullshit Fran scores.
So they have these ridiculous Fran scores because they're not doing the work.
So, and this is just getting worse and worse. And I think it's really detracting from CrossFit, and CrossFit has real problems right now with people leaving CrossFit. The Dubai CrossFit Championships is no longer the Dubai CrossFit Championship. Right. Rogue already doesn't use CrossFit in their name, which is this weekend actually. So watch the Rogue Invitational. That's always awesome. We're just seeing all these organizations dropping out of CrossFit because the lack of integrity, and the lack of planning, which this is their first bit of planning, which they actually hired a PR team to write this.
Well, and they have a new CEO that's actually seems to be doing the right thing.
Yeah, I hope
so far.
Well, I think it's also Dave Castro being back.
That's true too.
I mean, I think you put two people that are really good for the company. Hopefully,
it's looking good anyway.
It's looking good. Yeah. So I don't know.
And then
that's my feeling on it.
On the note of competitions and integrity, according to Today, due to drug testing and appeals, the payouts of the 2022 semifinals have been delayed. So CrossFit has issued prize money to 7 of the 10 semifinals to date. 3 semifinals are unresolved: Fittest in Cape Town, Syndicate Crown, and the Far East Throwdown. So basically,
so this isn't the games.
So this isn't even at the games yet. This is semifinals. So these 3 people have been.
There's so many people
failed drug tests, and then now they're protesting it. So because of the protesting, they can't give up prize money until they figure it out.
Okay,
but it just goes to show that there's that much issues still pending. And honestly, if you just straight cheated, you don't protest it because you know you're fucked. So these guys think they hit it well enough.
They still protest.
They think they hit it well enough that they should be able to protest.
If they protest, because it doesn't cost them any money to protest.
Oh yeah, and they lawyer up.
The protests they have to. Yeah, I'm sure some of them do, but they do the B sample, all that stuff. It just delays it. But if you don't protest, then you just look guilty. Whereas you say, "Oh no, there's something wrong with my sample. It's bullshit."
Yeah,
and they just fight that. Like the one girl that was fighting it, who they screwed up the chain of chain of custody with her sample, and paperwork got a little screwy. They proved it was hers. They're like, "No, this is yours." And the whole time she's like, "No, it's not mine. It's my husband's." Yeah, one of these things. But I know that's on the game site that she actually was found. It was found to be her sample, and of course she knew she was on it.
Of course,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, nobody doesn't know
because there's a chain of custody. You're like, "Oh, this is my out," right?
Yeah, exactly. So, they're like, their lawyer probably said, "Hey, you might get out on this."
And we haven't heard anything yet from drug tests from the games, so we're still. And it's
we'll see.
They need to get a little speed on it. Spend the extra.
But they're just working on semifinals now.
Yeah. Well, no, the semifinals are there. This is just figuring out the payouts. But yeah, it's like spend the extra $5 to get it expedited. And then what was the last thing I was going to bring up?
I don't know, but I gotta go.
I don't know. We're good.
Okay, well, in that case, I will not be here for the next 2 weeks in a row. So
like, subscribe.
See you in 3 weeks.
And peace. Ooh.